Hello ladies, gentlemen and others, my name is Dan, the voice behind that Kaito Dan, and well, seems someone may have jumped the gun a little bit, cause we got ourselves a RWBY leak, and quite the interesting one at that. You see, last night various websites posted public listings for the newest RWBY novel, written by E.C. Myers, who of course has worked on the previous novels After the Fall and Before the Dawn, as well as the Fairy Tales of Remnant book. And we even got a name, cover, and release date, which ended up being legit. Now before anything else, I think this is a shame that this was leaked out with RTX being only a few more weeks away. Sure, leaks get stuff out to fans sooner, but it does rob events like RTX's RWBY panels of a hot reveal, making things tough on the folks behind the scenes to adjust their reveal plans. Plus, while we got a fair amount of details already, we're still lacking the premise and some of the intriguing background behind its creation that would give further incentive to check this out. So we're still waiting on that RWBY Beyond panel to give us the full reveal anyway, making these next few weeks feel even longer. But hey, no use crying over spilled milk. We know about it now, so let's discuss the details we do have rather than trying to ignore the wave of reaction. Though I should stress, if you do want to keep in the dark on what this novel is about until the official reveal, it's best to click off this video now. You good? Sweet. So, without any further ado, let's talk about the new RWBY novel coming this September 7th, RWBY Roman Holiday, starring Remnant's iconic partners in crime, Roman Torchwick and Neapolitan. That's right, we look to be leaving Vacuo this time out in terms of the novels and present day events in general, to instead take a trip down memory lane with these two widely popular faces, and that alone is enticing. This is also the first time that Torchwick's been featured in canon works since his death in Volume 3, and all signs seem to be pointing that this is finally giving us insight on the devious duo's relationship and past, something that many of us have been craving for pretty much since both characters' debuts. Looking over the cover's contents, we got the pair in their classic attires chilling in a rather fancy looking room, which, if the crest in the background is any clue, looks to be a high-class home found in the duo's usual stomping grounds of Vale, so it seems that we'll be mostly sticking to that kingdom for this book's setting. I did also try to make out what type of flowers these are, in case there's any meaning to them which might tie into the story, but I couldn't really nail down a clear-cut answer, though if any of you guys have any clue, please let me know. What I can dive deeper into is that picture, a family photo of a high society couple and their little girl, who has a similar brown colour to her eyes and hair that Neo partly does. Safe bet incoming, that's gotta be Neo and her family, which means quite a fair amount of big deals. 1, I think we can now say bye-bye to the Torchwick and Neo came from Brunswick Farms theory. 2, Roman himself isn't in the photo, so this seems to confirm that Roman and Neo aren't related. 3, it looks like before she did cross paths with Roman, Neo was a rich girl, which is quite interesting indeed when we also discuss the book's title. Roman Holiday isn't just a cheeky pun, which instantly gets a win in my book. It's also referring to the phrase that means an occasion on which enjoyment or profit is derived from others' suffering or discomfort. If we keep that in mind while looking at this girl in the photo that we assume is Neo, she looks rather unhappy, judging by the expression on her face. So perhaps while she lived the life of luxury, Neo wasn't living a fulfilled life. Maybe her parents weren't around much due to their high society lifestyle, or she was kept sheltered because of her muteness, or she was raised up as a prim and proper girl that she might not have wanted to be. This is where Roman Holiday and Roman himself could come into play. Maybe Torchwick tried to steal from Neo's home and she caught him, but events pan out to where Roman takes Neo on her own Roman holiday, away from the rich side of Vale and into the thrills and lawlessness of Vale's criminal underground. This setup would actually mirror a lot of media that's inspired by the phrase Roman holiday, including a film of the same name from back in the 50s starring Gregory Peck and Audrey Hepburn about a princess that snuck off into Rome during a visit there, meeting a local that took her through all types of thrills that she couldn't have as a royal. A similar setup like that, playing off that phrase, would be a decent way to explore how these two came together despite their different backgrounds, and how they eventually formed such a close bond if Torchic perhaps helped Neo truly live her life, and she in turn decided that she wanted to help protect his, as thanks for freeing her from an unhappy life. And it could also explore how these two climbed the ranks to become Vale's most wanted, as well as touching on Vale's darker sides that we only got crumbs of before. That's just my speculation though, based on the clues that we have so far. But either way, I'm definitely excited to learn more about these two at long last, though I'm also curious to see how the book handles Neo's muteness. Will we learn that she was born with this, or was there some kind of incident in her past that caused her to go mute? Also, how will the book address Neo speaking, if she's going to be our main point of view? Will it just be internal thoughts, and the characters around her vocalizing her expressions, much like in the show? One of Neo's trademarks that has made her such a massively well-loved character has been her use of body language to do the talking for her, so it's going to be fascinating to see how Myers writes Neo's dialogue, so to speak, in written form, and seeing what her personality is like within her own mind. There's also one other big topic worth addressing as a result of this book's topic, and that's the fact that this could mean our time with Team Coffee, Team Sun, and the folks in Vacuo is done until they pop up in the main series, with Myers moving on to a different subject. Of course, part of the main cast just dropped on their feet in the Sandy Kingdom at the end of Volume 8, but with all the talk about a narrative detour for the next volume and events going on in that Wonderland setting, many were left wondering if the next Myers book would be Ren, Nora, Oscar, Emerald, Winter, and the rest of the Alice evacuees joining up with the Vacuo cast for whatever story will unfold there, while Volume 9 is strictly focused on just Team RWBY, Jean, and Neo in that Wonderland world. But no, instead we got a completely different topic for the new book, so who knows, the next time we turn our attention proper to Vacuo, it could very well be in animated form, which personally I would prefer, given how key it is to see the Atlas evacuees and the people of Vacuo deal with each other given the two kingdoms' shared hostility, as well as seeing how the splintered group cope with their losses and being the only folks currently left in the real world to prepare for Salem's next move, though again, that's just speculation. One last thing though, it's also quite interesting that we finally look to be learning about Neo's past and history with Roman before the muted murderer looks to be getting an even bigger presence in the series as the sole villain rep in that other world. Is this story dropping now so we learn enough about Neo's past to perhaps see an avenue supporting why Neo could be offered a chance for redemption? Or is it dropping now because we could be building up to the death of Neo, the book's highlighting on her supposed troubled past, making us all the more emotionally invested in her life ending in tragedy or sacrifice? But I think that's enough speculation and theory crafting for now. Again, this is just what I can make out from the leaked details. I'm sure that when RTX's RWBY panels come along, we'll have much clearer details on this book, Volume 9's outlook, and much more. So be sure to tune in for those events, as well as my news update videos where I will break down every juicy reveal and new information fresh from this year's event. Beyond that, I'm hyped as heck for this book. I cannot wait to give it a read, but what about you guys? Are you excited for a Roman and Neo book? Would you have preferred a different subject? What's your take on my speculation and theories? And what else would you like to see shown off at RTX in the coming weeks? let me know in the comments down below, and while you're at it, hit the subscribe and bell buttons and tick the notification box to make sure you get every new video from me as they drop. And follow me on Twitter at ThatKaitoDan for more on anything to do with future videos, updates on the channel, and more. But until next time, have a good day or good night, and peace out.